This series is more than just about careers. It's about unlocking potential, sparking curiosity among kids, and also just showing our learners that the future is theirs to shape through innovation and critical thinking. A heartfelt thank you to our speakers who availed themselves today, uh, and dedicated their time to share their personal journeys, experience, and practical insights with our audience. Your stories will not only inform us today, but they will also inspire us to go for those careers that we were always dreaming and wishing that we would want to embark on. We are really grateful for your commitment to building knowledge-based society and for being such an excellent role model for our next generation of innovators. To our students and participants joining us from across the country, we hope today's session opens your eyes to new possibilities and motivates you to dream bigger, aim higher, and also work harder, because without hard work, then you are not going to be able to achieve your dream. Let's dive into this session today, and I also encourage everyone to ask questions and make the most of this opportunity. Our first speaker for today is Mnotfo Dlamini, who is our startup based at the Royal Science and Technology Business Incubator, who is the founder of Innovazania. Notfo is a software developer with an academic background in computer science and a passion for creating technology solutions that drive meaningful change. He has developed innovative solutions that are widely used across Eswatini with a particular focus on the education sector. His notable work includes Shinufu, which is Eswatini's leading education management platform that streamlines school operations, enhances teacher productivity and effectiveness, and also contributes to improved national learning outcomes. Notful, I hereby invite you to start and open this session today so that to start being the first speaker for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the opportunity to do a very brief presentation about technology. As you've correctly said, my name is Mnotfo Dlamini, based at the Royal Science and Technology Park, working on the Shinifu platform. So I'm going to start the session. I will share my presentation so that sitawukhona ukuthi siqale. All right. I hope everyone can see. Oops, okay, so Dr. session I'm to talk about technology. Before we maybe delve deep into how technology is a career, we have to first of all understand what technology is. So what is technology? So basically technology is the application of scientific knowledge and engineering principles to create tools, systems, and solutions to solve problems and improve human life. So the reason I'm trying to explain what technology is so that we can have contextual understanding before we delve deep into the specificities of what we'll be talking about today. So we need to have that basic understanding of what we are talking about. So this includes things like smartphones, internet and software, medical equipment, renewable energy solutions. About that, renewable solar and energy solutions. So that is what encompasses technology. So it is the application of scientific knowledge and engineering principles to create tools, systems, and solutions to solve and improve human life. Continuing. Okay, what are the core elements? What are the core elements of technology? Number one, practical application. So technology transforms theoretical knowledge into usable tools and systems that address real-world needs. The second element or core characteristic of technology is its problem solving capacity. So at its heart, technology exists to solve challenges from basic needs like communication, transport, uh, communication, and many complex issues. Could be diseases, it could be climate change. So at its heart, technology exists to solve those problems. Number three, the third component of technology is that technology encompasses both physical objects, that is, devices. So it could be a mobile phone, a smartphone, it could be a medical device, it could be a car, and also intangible systems, that is, your software, your algorithms, your processes. So technology encompasses both hardware and software. So the hardware are the physical objects, and then the intangible systems are the algorithms, your process and processes and softwares. Now, to now come to the contextual understanding of what we're talking about. Now, to bring context into today's conversation or discussion, let's talk about technology in STEM. Now, what does STEM for? As we all know, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So in the acronym STEM, the T stands for technology, the S stands for science, the E stands for engineering, and the M stands for mathematics. So let us now understand technology in the context of STEM. So basically, what technology does, it connects scientific discoveries with engineering solutions and mathematical logic. So technology is used in building applications, in running machines, in space exploration, robotics, in education, and solving real-world problems, right? So it is the technology that enables the creation of such innovation or of such systems. For example, a satellite with a vehicle space, there has to be a technology behind that powers that. For a computer to run, there has to be a certain technology that is behind those softwares that are running. So what technology does, as explained in the second point, it connects scientific discoveries with engineering solutions and mathematical logic. Now, let's talk about the examples of technology in STEM. Uh, Number one, okay, how how does technology fit into the STEM equation or into the STEM context? So in science, technology, for example, it can be used in simulations, in computer simulations, to model climate change or to predict certain weather conditions or to predict tomorrow or next week's weather. So technology is actually behind those models, those predictive models. So it's one example of how technology can be used or is used in the field of science. In engineering, technology can be used in building robotics or robots or self-driving cars. We all know there is what is known as smart self-driving cars. Example, Tesla. What is actually powering those vehicles? Self-driving cars. It's technology. There is technology behind the scenes that is enabling those cars to work without a driver driving that car, right? So in the field of engineering, for example, there are self-driving cars. Those self-driving cars are powered by what? Are powered by technology. Uh, in mathematics, how does technology fit into the mathematics branch of STEM? So, for example, in mathematics, uh, the algorithms for AI for data analysis uh, stem from technology. So technology, and also within technology itself, programming apps, using drones, developing medical imaginative or imagining software. So these are examples of how technology fits into STEM, or how technology helps or assists the other branches of STEM, which is science, engineering, and mathematics. So these are just examples. Now, why technology careers matter now. Why is technology important? Uh, so according to research data, they say that by 2030, there will be over 85 million unfulfilled tech jobs globally. Technology professionals earn 40 to 70% more than average salaries. Technology professionals earn 40% to 70% more than average salaries. 90% of all jobs now require some digital skills. So whether you're in the agriculture sector, you're in the manufacturing sector, you're in the retail sector, you're in the financial sector, whatever sector that you're in, those jobs in those sectors, 90% of them require some digital skills. So it is imperative that people are acquainted or are competent in technology skills, because the jobs of the future will require a certain degree of digital competence or digital skilling. We're talking about why technology careers matter now. Number four, Africa's technology sector is growing at 8% annually, faster than any other region. Um, Africa is producing technology at a very, 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 very fast pace. Now, let's talk about the impact of technology in today's world. As we all know, that technology is solving real life problems. We're talking about healthcare in rural areas to financial inclusion. I'll make an example. We have what is known as mobile money, right? That piece of technology is ensuring that citizens, irrespective of their social status, irrespective of their social economic condition, have access to finance. They are included within the financial system. So that is technology solving a problem. Technology is empowering healthcare, right? Now, for example, in the country, if you want to go to hospital, you just bring in an ID and they're able to capture your information. And from that data, the government is able to now do their planning to know what people what health challenges maybe they face, and what can be done to address all of that. So at the heart of that is technology, right? So technology is helping to solve real life problems. Every industry needs tech professionals. So we talk about banking, we talk about agriculture, we talk about entertainment, we talk about education, even in entertainment. Today we're able to stream music from Spotify. Uh, Spotify is what? Spotify is a piece of technology. Spotify is an app. That is what? That is ensuring that people have what? People have access to 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 the tech now to music. In education, fortunately enough, for me, I've built the Shunifu platform. So I've seen how that particular platform is helping schools to operate more efficiently. So that is technology, right? Empowering that particular field. So technology is driving change across the sector. Now going to the next slide.
I'm not for.
Yes, hello, ma'am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, no, we were not able to hear you.
Okay. Sending ifanyalo.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let me just continue. I think we've got a trick and basically IPA. There are some challenges, but okay. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it's on the technology revolution slide.
Okay, let's continue. Sorry, a little bit. Just a minute. Okay, let's continue. So we're talking about how is technology powering the different industries. As you know, technology, why it matters. Most of the jobs that we will have, they are powered by technology. And so it is imperative that each and every one of us, irrespective of the sectors that we are in, ukuthi sibe competent and knowledgeable on the technology ngoba lama skills that will be needed going forward, ngama skills la khanza ukuthi they integrate technology going forward. Uh, Now, so okay, we'll talk about the four technology careers that are there. We have software engineering, which is the field that helps in Noma, that speaks into building the technology. So that is the applications, the software systems. Within technology, also we have the second field, which is shown. Then we have
Hi, Noto. Hello, we cannot hear you right now.
sorry, can telling Ifanyalo?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I think we'll break at the network. Sorry about that. Cyber, okay. We have data science, then we have cybersecurity, and then we have artificial intelligence. So these are the four big technology careers: software engineering, data science. So with data science, it is all about turning information into insights. Okay. Then we have cybersecurity. So cybersecurity speaks into protecting our digital infrastructure, our systems. And then we have artificial intelligence, which is another part or another, we'll call it pillar within the technology career spectrum that helps in creating intelligent systems or making our systems more and more intelligent. Now, I'm going to now get into these four career paths or these career these four career paths, which is software engineering, which is data science, which is cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. Now, let's talk about software engineering.
Yes.
Sorry, Noto. Colleagues, can you please kindly mute?
Ngikusasa.
Can you kindly mute yourselves?
Angayifunzi.
Dr. Rejoice. Dr. Rejoice Masego. Your mic is on. Yeah.
Ngiyabonga Tunga. Hayi ngabona ukuthi angikwende ngoba i-deadline yabo bemhla ka-1. Ngiyabona lokho engathi hayi ngihana nginikela ama-details.
Apologies, Dr. Masego and Patizwe. Can you please kindly mute yourselves? Colleagues, can you please all kindly mute yourselves until it's your turn to speak? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now let's talk about software engineering. So every application that you see, every mobile application that you interact with, it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter, it could be Instagram. Every system that you interact with starts with code. There's code behind that is empowering every application that is on the earth, whether it's Google, whether it's Facebook, it all starts with code. So that is what software engineers do. They build the code that powers the applications that we have. So what do software engineers do? They design and build applications. They solve complex problems through programming. They work in teams to create user-friendly solutions, right? And they continuously learn new technologies and frameworks. So career paths within the software engineering pillar. So we have what is known as a front-end developer, right? So we're talking about people that build the applications. So we've got a front-end developer. So front-end developers, they create the user interfaces, right? So for example, when you log in onto your favorite application, it could be Facebook, you see the interface there. There's the part where you can put in your status. There's a part where you see people's statuses. That is called a user interface. So what people see. So a system has a back end and a front end. So the front end is the part that the users see. So within the software engineering, software engineering is all about building the application, and it's building the softwares that powers the applications that we see. So they are front-end developers, or those that create the interfaces that people see. So we call them front-end developers. So one path that you can follow if you're interested in software engineering is being a front-end developer. So being a developer of what people see, the interfaces that people see and interact with. So the buttons, the text boxes, and all of that. Then the second career path within software engineering, being a back-end developer. So what is a back-end developer? A back-end developer is the one that builds the back end or the server-side logic. So the engine behind the scenes. So if you know a car, we have the part that we see, the doors, the windscreen. So in this context, it's not low way, you know what in front end. It is what you see. Then we have the back end. The back end in the context of a car is not seeing the engine, right? The engine, the inside of the car. So within also in software engineering, we have back-end development or the back-end, which is the part that people don't see. So that includes the logic, the control statements, the functions, the different variables. So the back-end, the side, the part that people don't see, which powers the whole application. So you can be a back-end developer whereby you build the server-side logic, right? So you build the back-end logic, nanga back-end development. That is another path that you can follow. So you can be a front-end developer, you can be a back-end developer, or you can be a full-stack developer. So a full-stack developer is a person that develops both the back-end and the front-end. So you develop the interfaces and also you develop the background logic. Then also a career path within software engineering that you can follow is being a mobile developer. So whereby you create mobile applications. It could be an iOS application for those that use Apple products or Apple devices, or it can be an Android application, right? So you can be a mobile developer. every mobile app that you see today, every application you interact with in your phone has been developed, and the person that developed that is called a mobile developer, mobile application developer. Then we have a DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer. So that is another path that you can follow within the software engineering path. A DevOps engineer plays a very critical role. I must tell you, as someone who is within the software engineering space, DevOps play a critical role in software development or in software engineering. For you to be able to access the application that you're accessing, there is a DevOps engineer behind the scenes, right? Because you can develop an application. I can sit here, develop an application, but that application, for it to be accessed by someone in Baban or someone at Ezulwini or someone in America, it has that application has to be deployed to a server, right? It has to be deployed to a hosting infrastructure. So the people that are responsible for doing that, for managing deployments and for managing the infrastructure that hosts the applications, are called DevOps, Development Operations Engineers. So they are responsible for managing a hosting infrastructure. That is, they manage data centers. They ensure that every application that is developed is deployed within infrastructure and people are able to access it. So that when you type whatever address, you are able to access that particular application. So that is known as a DevOps engineer. Now continuing. Now let's talk about the impact of software engineers within Eswatini, right? So software engineers can be able to create e-commerce applications that can support local businesses. So we need people that can be able to sit down and create platforms like e-commerce platforms that will allow the buying and selling within the digital space. So without having to go to a brick and mortar store to buy, I can be able to buy within my mobile phone, make payments within the phone. So we need people that can build such infrastructure, similar to Amazon, similar to eBay, those particular platforms. So we need people that can be able to build such to support the buying and selling within the digital space. Mobile banking solutions, reaching rural communities. We need more mobile banking solutions. MTN has done an incredible job with their mobile money application, but there are gaps that software engineers can fill within the financial inclusion space, or within the mobile banking space. Also, we need more educational applications that can help students to learn remotely within a low resource context. Because most applications, you find that they work best in a well-resourced context. But when you go to rural areas where you find that there is limited smartphones, limited connectivity, you need innovative solutions that can be able to work even in that context. So software engineers are needed in the country to be able to build such platforms. Also, government digital services. We need more and more digital services which citizens can be able to tap to and access crucial government services. And I'm glad that work has been done by the Minister of ICT through the Government Union App initiative to actually now have all these different services accessed within mobile devices, which is something that is incredible. So what are the skills that you need within the software engineering space? Number one, you need to learn a programming language. So it could be Python, it could be JavaScript, it could be Java. And it depends on the type of a path you want to follow: front-end development, back-end development, DevOps, mobile application development. So, but at a fundamental, what is fundamental is knowing a programming language. You have to know a programming language to be able to kickstart a career in software engineering. So there are many types of programming languages. You've got Python, you've got JavaScript, you've got PHP, you've got You've got Go, you've got C++, you've got C#. So it depends on the path that you want to follow, right? So learn a programming language. Number two, the second skill that you need to be a problem solver. You need to be a solutionist, someone who is always thinking of solutions. So you have to be a problem solver for you to be able to succeed within the space, because software engineering is all about creating solutions, right? It's all about creating solutions using technology. So creating solutions. So you need to be a problem solver. The third skill that you need is attention to detail. You need to be someone who has a very good attention to detail skill. Number three, you need to be a continuous learner. As we know, technology is always evolving, so you need to continuously learn. You need to continuously learn. If there's a new concept, there's a new paradigm, or there's a new framework, there's a new development framework that is introduced, you are supposed to learn that. For you to be able to create relevant solutions, you have to be a continuous learner. So those are the skills that you need. Now let's talk about data science. I'll be quick so that I cover my time. So data science, that is the second pillar. We spoke about software engineering, data science, artificial intelligence. So now let's get into data science. So as you all know that now data is the new oil, and data scientists are the refiners. But data is the new gold, and data scientists are the goldsmiths. So in data science, what do data scientists do? So what they do, they analyze large data sets to find patterns and trends. Right? This is very, very important. As someone who's within the technology space, I can tell you, many entities, many companies, they need data scientists, people that can be able to analyze large data sets, to be able to find insights and trends and patterns. Now, those insights then empower what? They empower decision making. So now when, for example, as a company, we make a decision, which we're going to use this particular strategy, we make that decision based on what? Based on data, and we're based on insights. So data scientists are able to what? To gather information, and they're able to clean that information, and they're able now to produce insights from that information, so that we're able to make what? We're able to make proper decisions as companies, as entities. So data scientists, what is it else that they do? They create predictive models to forecast future outcomes, right? Data scientists, they create predictive models to forecast future outcomes. If we're going to just CNN, the economy is going to grow by 3% in the next quarter, for them to actually say that, it is because there's a predictive model that they used to predict what? That particular economic outcome. So data scientists are the ones that actually create what? They create the models to forecast future outcomes. Scientists, they build dashboards and visualizations for decision makers. Decision makers or policy makers, you find out that they don't have time. So they cannot be reading 300-page documents and all of that. So you find out that if you just build a dashboard for them and visualize the data for them, they're able to see, oh, this is where the challenges are, these are where the gaps are. So this is what we must do to address that particular gap. So data scientists, they build dashboards and visualizations for decision makers, so that they can be able to quickly come up with relevant decisions. Data scientists, they use statistical methods and machine learning. So what are the career paths within data science? So you can be a data analyst, right? So what does a data analyst do? A data analyst interprets data and creates reports. Secondly, it's a data scientist. So data scientists build predictive models and algorithms. Very, very important. Very, very, very crucial. Very, very important. I must emphasize. So data scientists, they build predictive models and algorithms, which then power the predictive models and the dashboards that are used in decision making. Business intelligence analysts. So those ones, they focus on business metrics, and they do also create those dashboards, which helps business owners to be able to see what is happening, for example, in a company, sales, percentages, are we making profit, and all of that. So business and intelligence analysts, they focus on business metrics. And then a machine learning engineer, they implement AI models in production. Machine learning engineers are critically important. If, as a company, you are now utilizing AI technology, you need people that can be able to implement AI models, train the models, run the models, and all of that. Data engineer. So data engineers, they build data pipelines and infrastructure. So those are the career paths within data science. All right. Now let's go to the real world applications of data science. For example, you can be, as a data scientist, to do what? To predict crop yields for farmers. Just an example. You can be able to analyze customer behavior for retailers so that you know, oh, customers, they usually buy within this time frame towards the end of the month, 22, 23, that's when they flood our stores, which means masakema sales, work around that time. So that, but so that data can help retailers to be able to actually now come up with sales strategies that can be able to help them drive more profit. Optimizing supply chains for manufacturers, real world of data science, improving healthcare outcomes through patient data analysis. Now, for example, they are doing their analysis like health. Well, no, but most people, ebusika labaningi bethu abakhala mhlawumbe umkhuhlane lo sho sinyalo mangabe sesiya thenga amaphilisi probably kumele ukuthi sithenga ngemkhuhlane because around this time labaningi labetako bavamise kuba nemkhuhlane. So the data tells you. So we are corner to do the planning based on what? Based on the data. So we are able now to improve outcomes through analyzing the data and knowing exactly what to do, because the data shows you what to do, where the gaps are, where the demand is, and how you can fill that demand. So that is one example of data science. Yasita kakhulu to give you the data that will help you make proper decisions. Skills that you need for data science. Number one, you have to be very good in statistics and mathematics. Very, very important. Yeah, maths key kule field. Programming could be R, could be SQL, could be Python, because when you run your models, you will have to use Python, you have to use SQL to interpret the data, to run the data definition languages, to run Llama queries. So you have to know how SQL works. Data visualization tools. As a data scientist, you're dealing with data. So you've gathered the data, you've cleaned the data, you've analyzed the data. Now you have to present the data. So you have to know how to use Llama tools, a visualization, right? Whether with Tableau, or R, or any other of the data visualization that is there. Then we have to have a domain understanding, right? So if, for example, you're a data scientist, or you're a data scientist within the health sector, you have to have a good domain understanding of that sector. If you're a data scientist within the financial sector, you have to understand your domain very well. So you have to have a business domain understanding of the field that you're in, so that you know exactly what metrics to cover, what metrics to collect data for, what KPIs to build visualizations for. Another skill that you need is critical thinking. You have to be a critical thinker. You have to be a critical thinker. You can't just be thinking generally. You have to be a critical thinker for you to succeed in this field. Now let's go to the third part, to the third, cybersecurity. So cybersecurity nyalo. Sikhuluma about technology and software engineering. We then spoke about data science. Let's talk about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is key because everything that we do has to be protected. Everything that we do within the IT space, within the digital world, has to be secured, right? Data science data is the new oil, or is the new gold, right? So if that is the new gold, it means now that will want to steal the gold, that want to steal the data, right? For example, if you're a company and then you've got your strategies in your Google Drive or whatever online, your competitor might hack into that and steal your data. So if they steal your data, they steal your competitive advantage. So there has to be means through which we now safeguard the data, we safeguard our infrastructure, right? For example, Batsinyalo, timpi kadzeni betilwa ngetikhali and shields. Now the battle is in the cyberspace now, right? So a whole country can be destroyed through a drone. The controller just in a bedroom, yabegis. So you can see now with cybersecurity is critically important because it ensures whatever that we have within the digital space is protected. Our data, our infrastructure. So in a connected world, security isn't an option. Security is not an option. It is essential. So what do cybersecurity professionals do? Number one, they protect organizations from cyber threats and attacks. They design secure systems and networks. They investigate security incidents and breaches. They educate users about security best practice. Just lately, we heard look in the country there's ransom. Not sure if say corner or basiwonisha ukuthi kunemvo letako ransomware whereby those hackers will encrypt your information, and then for them to decrypt it and give it back to you, you have to pay them huge sums of money, right? So that is one example of a cyber threat. So there has to be means, systems, and structures in place to ensure that the data that we have, the infrastructure that we have, is safeguarded. We have to safeguard the infrastructure. Listen, our IT infrastructure, computers, servers, devices, even the softwares that we use. For example, log in your banking application. That application has to be secure. What kind of situation where somebody logs in and is able to transfer money on your behalf? It shouldn't be like that. So that system has to be secure. So when you speak into careers of technology, we cannot live out cybersecurity. So what are the career paths in security? So we've got a security analyst. The security analyst monitors in response to threats. We've got ethical hackers. Yeah, we have ethical hacker. So ethical hackers. Ethical hackers, their responsibility is finding vulnerabilities before bad actors do. That are skilled in hacking, but they use their hacking skills for the good of the organization. They do hack the organization, but with the intention of finding out vulnerabilities before bad actors do. So we try to hack ourselves so that we find out where are the gaps, where are the vulnerabilities, and we patch those vulnerabilities before it's done by the bad actors. So ethical hackers, ethical hacking is one career path that you can follow if you want to be a cybersecurity professional. System architect, another security path that you can follow, where you design secure systems. So like show see a system manager is secure by default. It's secure by design. It has to be designed. You have to design the security into a system, into infrastructure. Then you've got incident response specialists, so they manage security breaches. There has to be somebody that responds to that. Okay, then we have a compliance officer. So those ones, they ensure that they ensure regulatory requirements are met. So why is cybersecurity important? Just I was reading something. Cybersecurity costs the global economy 6 trillion annually. Every 39 seconds, there's a cyber attack somewhere in the world. So as more businesses go digital, security professionals are in massive demand. So they help us in protecting banks from financial fraud. They secure government systems and citizens' data. They safeguard healthcare records. They defend critical infrastructure. So skills that you need within the space, number one, technical knowledge of networks and systems. So we are networking, right? Understanding of security frameworks, have attention to detail, problem solving, and being able to work under pressure, and having an ethical mindset. Yeah, cool is that you be an ethical person. If you don't get any space, say cybersecurity. Think like a criminal, but be ethical, right? Now, the last part is artificial intelligence, right? So as you know, AI is not science fiction. It is today's reality, creating tomorrow's possibilities. So what do artificial intelligence professionals do? Number one, they develop intelligent systems that can learn and make decisions. They create chatbots, recommendation systems, and make predictive models. AI professionals work with neural networks and deep learning. They apply AI to solve real-world problems. So Emma parts within the space artificial intelligence, you can be an AI or machine learning engineer. That is, you build and deploy AI models. You can be a research scientist. You can advanced AI knowledge and techniques. You can be an AI product manager, so you can guide AI product development. You can be a computer vision engineer, teaching computers to see. Natural language processing specialist, so you can help computers to understand human language. Right? So those are the career paths that you can follow within the artificial intelligence space. So emerging opportunities within the space, you've got AI in agriculture. That is, you can do crop monitoring, detection.
Sorry, Mr. Dlamini, can you please kindly wrap up?
Okay.
Time is not on our side. Thank you so much.
All right. Let me wrap up just now. This is the last part. So the interconnected tech system. So these fields don't work in isolation. So how do they work? In summary, as you know, software engineers, they build the platforms that data scientists use to analyze information. Cybersecurity professionals, they protect the systems that AI engineers create. Data science insights help software engineers build better applications. AI enhances cybersecurity and threat detection, right? So that is how the whole tech ecosystem works. So all these different fields, cybersecurity, data science, AI, konke kuyathelelana, right? So it works in isolation. Because of time, thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this session initiated to have that basic understanding. Sorry about the glitches, like a network problem, because we're sending us at some point of the session. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you to RSTP and the sponsors for such an opportunity to present. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dlamini, for your insightful presentation. I would now like to give 5 minutes to the floor for some questions and clarifications from Mr. Dlamini. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box, or you can just unmute yourself and just ask your question directly from Mr. Dlamini himself. Thank you so much. Any questions? Now it's the time. Thank you. In the interest of time, because I still haven't received any questions, I think can continue with the next speaker's presentation. And I kindly request you, Mr. Mnotho Dlamini, to stay on the line so that you can be, so that when they ask questions, you can be available to answer them. Our next speaker for today's session is Mr. Mbulelo Nzuzo Mabusela, who's an AI project architect, senior software developer, and machine learning engineer at RSTP, who has a deep expertise in designing and deploying intelligent systems. He holds a Master of Science in Computer Science and Information Engineering, blending strong software engineering foundations with advanced AI capabilities. Mr. Mbulelo leads complex AI projects from concept to implementation, driving innovation through scalable and data-driven solutions. His work bridges technical excellence with strategic vision and contributing to impactful, future-ready digital transformations. Mr. Mbulelo Mabusela, can you please start with your presentation? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sunny, and good morning to everyone. Allow me to share my screen. Sorry, Sunny, have you given me permission to share? Hello?
I'm double checking that since
Okay.
I thought I had given to everyone, hence I'm not was able to share, but let me double check.
Okay, I think I
Oh,
got it. Is it visible?
yes, it's visible.
All right. Good morning again, everyone. I am Mbulele Mabusela. I am currently employed at the Royal Science and Technology Park as an AI projects architect and also a senior full stack developer. I will be this morning talking about my personal story in tech. I'll touch on the skills and attitude that you need for success and what the employers are currently expecting from people who want to break into tech. So my personal story starts me being born and raised in Manzini, in a small farm in Lukakaneni. So I like to refer myself as just a farm boy. I also went to primary in Manzini, in Jabuleni from grade 1 to 3, and then from grade 4 to 7, I finished at Living Waters Primary School. After that, I moved on to Setsembizo Sebunye Bahai High School. And this is where the story actually begins, the story that would lead to my career path. So I completed my high school in 2011, then did my Form 6, which is advanced subsidiary. And it was in the Form 6 class where I first heard that people could apply and go to Taiwan to study. I had a classmate who was speaking that to me and telling me that their brother or cousin was already in Taiwan studying there. So that sparked interest in me, and I explored in that opportunity. I tried to apply, but unfortunately, 2012, I missed the deadline. So that kind of forced me into a gap year for 2013. However, I don't see that time as a time as a I mean the gap year as a bad thing. It gave me time to figure out what exactly I wanted to do in my career. So I hope maybe some of the high school students that are following could relate to this, because in high school is where the choices you make really determine where your future lies. So during that time, during my gap year, I did remember that ever since I was young, my grandmother would be the one that calls me to fix her TV if there's something wrong with her TV. My uncle, if he had a problem with his phone, he'd call me. So even today, I don't know how I was figuring out these things, but I guess I always had that affinity to technology. So I then decided, you know what, let me try and pursue that technology path. And luckily enough, on the foreign year 2014, the International Cooperation and Development Fund, which is the Taiwanese ICDF, was for the first time issuing a computer science scholarship. So this time I made sure to be on time. I applied on time. And luckily enough, I was part of the 3 of Eswatini students that were picked to be awarded this computer science degree. So we left, we went to Taiwan. And of course, when you move into a foreign environment, there's a lot that is different than home. Yeah, the first thing I noticed is that there is no English at all. It was all symbols that I had never seen before. And part of our requirement for the scholarship was that we take a whole year of studying Mandarin Chinese. And we were required to pass level 3, which in this Chinese proficiency test, you have level 1 to 6. And level 3 is quite the ask for someone who's starting from scratch, from zero. But nonetheless, we were able to do that. All 11 of us who had got this scholarship from, the 3 of us, Eswatini, and together with other students from around the world, were able to pass that level 3 and begin our bachelor's of computer science Bachelor of Science in Computer Science in the following year, 2015. And that did come with a lot of challenges. It wasn't all smooth. Firstly, the classes were conducted in Chinese. Mind you, we had just taken a year to try and get to level 3 of Chinese, and these classes were taken in Chinese, instructed in Chinese. And then another challenge was, I'll never forget, we had these programming lab, introduction to programming. Every week we had 1 hour where we had questions and we were supposed to solve problems by creating a software or a small program. And you'd find that in that hour, our Taiwanese counterparts would spend about 10 to 15 minutes and they'd be done and leave the class. And that would leave you thinking, well, what am I doing here? But then I realized that that was my first time being exposed to programming. Imagine, in university, from primary, high school, I had never had any interaction with programming or coding. So while for them, from primary already, they get introduced to programming, high school even more so, and by the time they're at university, they're flowing. So these are the things to take into consideration if you are looking to get into the technology space. If you're in high school, I'd suggest that you already start looking at basics in computer programming. There are plenty of resources available, especially on YouTube and on the internet. I'd also advise to stay away from ChatGPT for now while you learn the basics. It will come in handy once you've got the basics and the fundamentals solid, because it will only just increase your speed in work. And if any errors that come up, you'll know how to solve them without getting too confused. And then we did then soldier on. We're able to complete our bachelor's degree in less than the time. Actually, it is 4 years, but I was able to do all my classes within the first 3.5 years. So there's 3.5 semesters. And in the last year, I was able to start my master's classes. We also did the master's. We wrote our thesis and successfully defended it. And then after that, I moved on to another city in the south of Taiwan, where I did an internship at a company that was doing factory automation. That's where I did back-end development for the system that they were creating. So after that, I stayed a bit in Taiwan, just recovering from the grueling bachelor's and a master's degree. I traveled a bit there, and then I decided to come back home and contribute to the country and bring whatever knowledge that I had. So I came back and I joined RSTP as a senior full stack developer, where basically we were developing and maintaining some of the systems that government is using. And I'm sure that some of the people here that are listening have interacted with. And then earlier this year, I moved on to the AI and Data Analytics Research Group, which also was established this year as a AI project architect and machine learning engineer. Maybe to explain what a senior full stack developer is. I think a previous speaker had mentioned that in software engineering, you do get front end and back end developers, while the full stack is where you are able to do everything from front end to back end. That is the user interface and user experience, as well as the business logic, as well as databases behind the scenes that really makes a complete app. And then for AI, I just want to talk a bit about AI. What really is AI? AI is a field in computer science that focuses on creating systems capable of performing tasks that typically require intelligence, human intelligence. This is such as reasoning, thinking. We have seen it now with the recent chatbots, learning. In fact, every AI software incorporates learning. And then perception, that is your visual AI and audio AI. And of course, decision making. And on the next slide, I have a Venn diagram that shows, so AI is a umbrella word. Within the first, let me just get my pointer. Within the first layer, this artificial intelligence, you get a lot of things inside it. And most of us have interacted with AI for a very long time without even realizing. For those who are gamers, if you are playing maybe FIFA or a soccer game or even a fighting game, your opponent that is not controlled by a human being, that is an AI. If you're using a camera, especially on your smartphones, if you're taking a picture and you see that yellow box around the person's face, that's face detection. That is within AI. And within the superset of AI, you get machine learning. And again, this has been in existence for many years, way before ChatGPT. Statisticians will agree that they are forecasting models. They've been using many forecasting models, excuse me, throughout the whole years. And then within machine learning, you have deep learning. Deep learning, this is where now in around 2015, 2016, a breakthrough happened with deep learning where you have systems that resemble the neural connections in your brain are given examples of maybe cats and many examples of cats. And over time, that system learns to recognize a cat amongst other objects. So that brought you your face detection that you see. It brought you your text prediction that you see, the autocorrects that you get on your phones. And also it brought you your ChatGPT. So briefly, that is what AI is. Now, moving on to skills and attitude that you need. One thing you cannot escape in this field of technology is self-learning. If you stop learning in this field, you will get swept away, because every single year, every single month, something new is being pushed out and developed, and you need to keep up to date. I advise that it should start now at high school level, ideally even at primary level, but at least at high school level, you should be learning about the new technologies that are coming out, so that by the time you reach tertiary, you'll be familiar with some of these things that you'll be learning. And then next is practice. Of course, practice makes perfect. And there's no other field that really needs you to practice more than when you are in technology or when you are in programming. The more you practice, the more you face challenges, and the more you learn how to overcome those challenges, such that next time when you face the same challenge, you easily know how to solve it and move on and make better software that way. And while we're still on practice, I just want to touch on mathematics. Many people, when they hear the word mathematics, they just want to shut down, because this narrative of mathematics as this monster has been peddled for a very, very long time. And you find that people give up on their dreams because of mathematics. I just wish that if there's anything that you take away from this presentation is that all it requires is just practice, because mathematics really is just a language, if you think about it. There are various symbols that look so complex and intimidating when you see them. In my mind comes the summation symbol. If you haven't seen the summation symbol, you can Google summation symbol. It looks like a scary thing, but once you understand that all it means is that whatever comes after the symbol, you're just adding it together, however many times has been decided. You understand that's all it means. It just means summation. It's not a monster. So I'd really emphasize that those who are maybe intimidated by mathematics, don't be. Just try to practice as much as possible. That's where you'll discover where maybe you do not know what a certain symbol means, or you do not grasp a certain concept properly. And then there you can go back to your teachers and ask for help. You can go to some of your fellow students, fellow classmates that maybe have grasped this and understand it better. You can ask them for help. Don't try to cram maths. It will not work. Don't try to cram it. Try to really understand it. And from then, just like any language, you'll be able to put things together, like how we put sentences together. Okay. And the third point is that you should accept that you will most likely fail for the first time. And that is okay. Just like I gave an example of my challenges with the first time I started programming. I was putting pressure on myself. I was thinking, you know what? I've been doing good all this time. Why is it that this thing is, I'm not able to get this thing very quickly? So this point is just to say that do not put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Accept that some things you will not get in the beginning. Just practice, more practice, and eventually you'll be able to succeed in that. And the last point is, I thought of this point just as I was putting together my presentation. And in fact, this invitation to present made me actually follow this point that I wrote, to reflect and celebrate your past accomplishments. Looking back at how things were challenging for me when I started out programming, and now to be able to build softwares that are being used currently in real life, and still pushing new software and in this new research group that I'm in, I think that's something to appreciate and reflect, and to realize that it's not about getting things right the first time. It's just about trying again and again, and eventually you realize that you've come so far. And I really also recommend this to even now the high school students. You are in high school because you passed primary, so that's an accomplishment that deserves a celebration. And those that are in tertiary, you are there because you've passed high school as well. So it is really important to reflect and celebrate your accomplishment. Now, finally, what employees want. So I remember when I joined RSTP, during the welcoming by my former boss, he said that we do not want people who are here to learn. We want people that know what to do. So I can tell you that right now, companies really want people that know their job. They don't have time to teach you your job. So what does that tell you? It means that right now, while you're still in high school, while you're still in tertiary, you should have as much practice as possible, build softwares just by yourself, just create projects by yourself, and make sure that you are building your skill, your programming skill, your software development skill, such that when you get to your employees, you can even applying for a job, you can even show them that I've worked on these projects before. And that would prove to them that Okay, you know what you're doing, and probably would get you into the job. And then next, of course, is diligence. Once you're in, do not relax. Keep working, even if sometimes it means late nights. Keep doing that, and I'm sure you become a very valuable employee, and they would not want to let you go. So that's what I had prepared for this presentation. That is my story, and that is my motivations to the viewers and listeners of this presentation. I want to thank you very much for your attention. If you want to get in contact with me, you can search me in LinkedIn, and there's my email as well on the screen. And as of this moment, I'm open to any questions or any clarification that you need. Thank you. Back to you, Program Director.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mabusela. We are indeed motivated. It has been such an insightful presentation. In the interest of time, can you please kindly drop the questions on the chat? We are going to address them later after Dr. Zindle's presentation. Our next speaker is Dr. Zinhle Dlamini, who is an electrical and electronics engineer lecturer at University of Eswatini with 6 years academic experience and 6 years industry experience in telecommunications. She holds a PhD in electronics engineering from Stellenbosch University. Beyond her expertise, Dr. Zinhle is a champion for artificial intelligence AI and an alumni of Africa Women in Tech and AI at the AI Movement University of Mohammed VI Polytechnic in Morocco. She not only shares her knowledge with university students, but also extends her passion to high school students through outreach programs to showcase AI potential for solving complex problems. Dr. Zinhle, I now give you the floor to share your presentation with us. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Am I good? Am I live?
Yes, you are good, Dr. Zinhle.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, so I'll just start briefly by sharing my story. I've been asked to speak on AI as well, but I realize that everybody's speaking on AI, so maybe we'll skip that part because there won't really be anything new that I'll bring to the table, especially in the limited amount of time. So maybe let's start briefly by just sharing my story. So I completed high school many moons ago. And then, of course, during my high school years, there was always that question, which I think everybody going through high school right now is, debating within their mind, what to do when you finish high school. So once upon a time, I was also asking myself that question, what to do? And I had a lot of influences on, that sort of like channeled me in which direction to go. But I think the one thing that got me thinking of going into engineering was the people that I knew. I looked at them, they looked smart to me, they looked like intelligent people. So I was inspired by someone as well to go into engineering. So I think the one thing that I think will help you make a more informed decision on which direction to take is hang around the people that you feel they are doing something that you feel an inclination that this might be what you want to do. So hang around those people, ask them what they do a bit more. How did they get about to be where they are today? Get informed, get as much information as you can about the direction that you want to take, which of course it's part of what we are doing here today. So yeah, it's a good starting point already. So I finished high school and I went into university. I studied electronic engineering. This was in the United Kingdom. So I studied that and I finished that, and then I moved on to do a master's still in the UK. So once I finished my master's, I came back to Swaziland and I started working at MTN as an engineer. So I worked there for about 4 years. It was a nice experience, but I quickly got bored because, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, after a while, it starts getting like, yeah, what next? No, So I left and then I moved to Stellenbosch, where I then studied for a PhD. So I finished that in 2016, and then I came back to Swaziland, and then I worked briefly at Swazi Mobile before joining the university. So I have been at Uniswa since 2019 up to now. Yeah, so that's basically my career story in a nutshell. I think the next thing I would like to talk about is just to give you pointers on things that you would need to succeed in your career journey, specifically if you're looking to go into science. So obviously right now from high school, you just need to make friends with maths. This is not something you're going to start when you get to university. It's now. You need to be comfortable with maths. You need to embrace it like this is your tool that you're going to use for the rest of your career life. Of course, depending on which science you're interested in, like, you know, if you want to go into the chemistry space, you need to, like, now, not when you get to university, now. Get comfortable with chemistry. So your journey basically, it starts in high school. The direction that you want to take, it will be determined from, you know, your high school results. So you want to get comfortable with this subjects now. If you're a curious person, for instance, you know, you look at things and you wonder, like, how does that work? You know, you just want to know how things work. I would say you're highly likely to enjoy engineering, because, you know, that's where you get to sort of like unpack things and understand how they work. And then, of course, you get to design your own systems as well. So yes, start now, moving in that direction and familiarize yourself with what's happening there, and then, you know, develop the skills now. I think the next pointer that I think you will need is, nothing is really easy, like nothing at all. Everything is difficult. So just approach everything with that mentality that it's not easy. So I am here and I am here to work hard, and I am going to put my maximum effort and see everything through. And develop this habit as well of just seeing everything all the way to the end. Don't start something and then drop it, and then you're trying the next thing because you think it's going to be a little easier. No. So if you start something, make a habit of always finishing it. It could be a basic thing, like just some little mini project that you start. It doesn't matter how, you know, insignificant it seems to be at that time, but just make a habit to finish everything that you start. And why this is important is because if you have a habit of giving up, even on just the small little useless things, this becomes your lifestyle. You develop a trend of just giving up when things you know, become difficult. So just teach yourself, like teach your brain, wire yourself, so to speak, into that space of whatever you start, you're always going to finish, and always approach things with the idea that it's not easy. Nothing is easy, but you are here to give it your maximum effort, and you are here to see it all the way through. Okay, and then the third thing I would like to just give you a pointer in that is likely to, you know, to make you succeed in the science space, if this is a direction that you want to take, is understanding that, you know, with everything that you do, especially in this space, you will start something, always not sure what direction it's taking you, but the important thing is understanding where you're going with it. So you do actually need to just put up with it all the way to the end of what you are doing. Sorry, just got a slight problem going on here. Can I just try and fix it quickly? Please excuse me, just 1 minute.
Hi, Dr. Lamini. It seems like we have just lost you. Apologies for those technical glitches. Let's give Dr. Lamini some few minutes to rejoin. Thank you. Whilst we're still waiting for Dr. Lamini to rejoin, anyone who's got a question to our two previous speakers? Any questions to our two previous speakers, participants?
Hello.
Hi, Muzi, you can go ahead.
Okay, no, thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. So, yes. Okay, basically, my question is directed to our second speaker, which is Makizela. During his presentation, yeah, he keeps on mentioning that there's developed some applications that are being utilized out there. I would like him maybe to mention one or two of those applications so that we can get inspired with something that is in the production environment, not something that maybe is in the testing phase or, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much for your question, Mr. Mhlongo. When I got to RSTP, what I started with was creating an app for the DPM's office to help them with their verification of the people who get the social grants. That's number one. Number two is the system that is being used within the deeds office to manage the process of lodging title deeds. And then the third one is one I'm sure that you have is Government in Your Hand, where I was also involved in not only the design, but also the implementation of the web services that enable it to do its to do some of the functions. Yeah, so that's just about it.
Okay, no,
Thank you so much, Mr. Mabusela. I hope your question has been answered, Muzi Mhlongo. Anyone who's got a question? Any more questions to the participants? Mr. Mafu, who is your question addressed to? Okay, we've got another question from Lihle Mafu in the chat box saying, thank you, Nkosi, for refreshing presentation. So I think adds to the question as from Note for Dlamini. I am curious to know how the cost and unreliability of data in Eswatini impact your field, in particular as an entrepreneur.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Is it Miss or Mr. or Miss Mafu?
It's Mr.
Mr. Mafu. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your questions there. Put out around the reliability and cost of data in the country. As we know that in the country, the data, the reliability is not where it's supposed to be, but progress has been made. It's not as it used to be. There's some progress made around the reliability of data, and the cost is not as it was. But to answer your question around how this has impacted the work that we do, it has impacted the work that we the unreliability depends on where you stand. For example, if you're in the rural areas, there are some schools that do not have access to reliable internet. So find out that they're not able to use or utilize the platform that we've built for them. So that maybe results in them not maybe meeting deadlines, or some schools maybe end up the teachers having to go to a nearby area where there is better connectivity in order to be able to use the system that we've built for them. So the unreliability has had a negative impact and effect, and also the issue of cost. As we know that some can afford data, so there are those that cannot afford. So those that cannot afford, you find out that they're not able to utilize the platform because probably they don't have access to the internet as those, for example, in urban areas. So that has had a negative impact. But I'm glad that the Minister of ICT is working very hard to ensure that the issue of internet unreliability is solved. They are currently working around ensuring that there's fiber across the Eswatini. So I think going forward, those issues of unreliability with the introduction of fiber network across the country will be sorted. That's my answer. I hope it answers your question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dlamini. We've got one last question in the chat box for Mr. Mabusela, but Dr. Zinhle Dlamini is back, so I think we will take it. Let's give Dr. Zinhle some time to finish her presentation, then we will tackle more questions after that. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, all right, thanks. Is it back to me?
Yes, Dr. Dlamini.
Okay, all right, thank you. Apologies, my technology, but we're good. All right, I think I just had two more points to go through, and then we can wrap it up. So the next thing I wanted to speak about was the concept of setting yourself apart. And the reason you do that is because you always want to leave an impression. You're competing with a whole lot of other people. This could be in your class, at university, in your job as well. If you ever get a job and you work somewhere, you want people to talk about you years after you've left, that you were here and you left your mark. You want to leave an impression. So always set yourself apart. Have that thing about you that people are always going to remember you for, that this is the impact that you made where you were. At school, you want to be remembered as there was that student, that student who did A, B, C, and D. When you get to university, you want your lecturers to remember you, that, you were here and this is what you did right, and talk about you. And this opens doors for you, even at work. This is how you're going to move up the ladder, by setting yourself apart. Don't be the average employee. And if you're an average employee, you will stay on the same job for years and years. People will come and move up. The person you started off with is going to be the CEO of the company while you're still at the same place, just because you just get stuck in the loop into the routine, and you don't do anything that will set yourself apart and get you to move up the ladder, move up into a better space, job wise. And then I think the final thing that we can talk about is I had it in my head, it's leaving me. Okay, all right. So apart from setting yourself apart, sorry, I'm just trying to recap in my head what it was. Okay, apologies. We'll just stop there for now. I'll take questions if there's any.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
We've
okay.
got one question for you. Sorry about that, Mose. Let me We've got
Yeah, sure.
one question from Menzi Kumalo in the, okay, this one is for Mr. Mabusel. For Dr. Zinhle, we've got one in the chat box. Zinhle, I was wondering which career opportunities are available for electrical engineering here in Eswatini. Unfortunately, it's from Samsung, so yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there's plenty. Personally, I used to work in the telecoms space. So you could work in telecommunications as an engineer. You could work in manufacturing. Our students normally go to, like, for internship in companies like Palfridge, where they're manufacturing refrigerators. You could work in SEC, which is the power sector. You could work in SPTC, that's telecoms as well. There's ESCCom. There's a whole range of them, from RSTP as well, looking at electrical systems. I think just about every company that manufactures something has a power system sector where they're looking for electrical engineers. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lamini Muzi. You can go ahead and ask your question from Dr. Lamini. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much, madam. Okay, maybe mine is not maybe specific to Dr. Zamini. Anyone in the panel can attempt to it. Yes, okay. My question is, I've noticed that quite a number of the solutions that are being developed here in Eswatini, especially the apps, they are mostly mobile apps compared to web applications. Yes, so my question is, as a country, are we in a better position maybe to focus mainly on mobile apps other than web applications? The reason why I'm posing this question is the fact that when you look into these applications that have been developed for the country in the past few years, none of them maybe are yielding the positive results. The reason being, when you develop a mobile application, one has to take his phone, download that particular app, whether it's Android or it's iOS, into his device, and then it will consume a lot of data. So in that process, a number of intended users of that particular application will be reluctant maybe to utilize those services one way or the other. So my advice is maybe let's try maybe to explore web applications as compared maybe to mobile application. Just because with your web application, you just need to type that particular address and it would consume less data as compared to downloading a mobile application, having it in your phone, and then when it comes to updates, or when it comes to web application, you update on that system central, and then it will affect across. When it comes to mobile application, that person needs like to download those updates from time to time. So can the panel maybe try maybe to comment on this and provide appropriate guidelines on this point that I've just raised? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Menzi Kumalo, for your question. Anyone from our panel list today who would like to comment or answer Mr. Menzi Kumalo's question? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me just. Oh, Mr. Ogoze. Okay, it's fine. Okay, just to maybe comment on what you said, Mr. Mhlongo. You are talking about mobile applications versus web applications, and recommending that developers should focus now on building web applications rather than mobile applications, due to the fact that mobile applications consume a lot of data and maybe space and all of that. Okay, my 2 cents on what you've just raised would be, in today's world, it is best to create both the mobile application and the web applications. There are frameworks that allow you to build from one code base. You can be able to have a web application, you can be able to have a mobile application. And the mobile application that you build can run on iOS, on Android, right? So if, for example, are using React or Flutter or any of those frameworks, you can be able to create a cross-platform application. So it can work on the web, it can work as a mobile application. The reason I'm saying it's best to use those frameworks to create cross-platform applications because users are not homogeneous. Users are very diverse. You can have one user who would prefer a situation where they interact with the application as a mobile application. Others would prefer, maybe due to limited space and limited data, might prefer to actually interact with the application interact with the application as a web application or as a website. So I think it's developers, it'll be best for them to create both platforms. Then it'll be up to the user to then say, I will consume this application as a mobile app or as a web application. Number two, we have what they call progressive web apps, right? Which is an in between a mobile app and a web app. So a PWA can work as a web app. It can also work as a mobile application, right? So for example, I log in onto the application and then there's a pop-up that says that, do you want to install this as a mobile app? Then you click install. I didn't have to go to Play Store, and the amount of space that app will consume is very little, and the same amount of data it will consume as a web application, it will consume as a mobile app and as a web app, right? So for example, go to CNN, the website like CNN, go to most news applications or websites. They have that PWA or progressive web app functionality. Even in our case with Shunifu, for example, schools don't have to go to Google Play Store to download the Shunifu app. They can download that app from the portal link itself because it's a progressive web app. So that's my 2 cents around it, to say that it's best to use these new technologies to create cross-platform and let the user be the one that makes the decision around consumer application from which platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment, Mr. Mnotfo. I think we will take the last question from the chat box in the interest of time, which is from Mr. Menzi Kumalo to Mr. Mbulelo Mabusela. How do you think artificial intelligence and data analytics unit at RSTP can positively impact the economy in Eswatini?
All right, thank you for the question, Menzi. Certainly, we at RSTP, under the Data Analytics and Artificial Intelligence Unit, we are looking at enabling government to make data-driven decisions. And having data-driven decisions means that you are tackling the issue directly and you're being as efficient as possible. Efficiency means saving on costs, which will eventually result in a better economy and saving of public funds. So that is one way that we can impact the economy in Eswatini. Yep.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mabusela. And lastly, I'd like to thank our speakers for availing themselves today. We learned a lot. I myself also learned a lot from each and every speaker, and I also got motivated because as they've stated, we are living in a world that is currently changing. So we also need to improve as the world changes. Thank you so much also to our participants today. You've been a lovely audience. And please join us tomorrow as we will be tackling careers in technology. In engineering rather, and we will be having 3 speakers tomorrow, just like today. The first one is Dr. Tembeli Lamini, who is a senior lecturer in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at University of Eswatini. We have Ms. Samgel Suwetembe, who's a pilot at Eswatini Air. And lastly, we will be having Ms. Kulule Fagutse, who's a research and development engineer at Eswatini Electricity Company. So please do join us tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.